The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Can I ask you folks a question? It's a very serious question. I mentioned this maybe a month ago, 5 weeks ago, during the gun debate, which is still brewing out there. Do we know which of our public officials has mental health issues? In other words, who's kind of nutty? Why don't we? Shouldn't there be a mental health check and a background check on every member of Congress before they're sworn in, and quite frankly on the President and the Vice President of the United States? The President of the United States and right behind him, the Vice President of the United States, have more access to guns, maybe not themselves, but, to the military and the use of force than any two people on the face of the earth. So shouldn't those two, Obama and Biden, go through background checks, including mental health checks? I only bring this up because on the Drudge Report, and he has a very appropriate photo of Biden looking like a nut, talking about the need for mental health checks, Vice President Biden says, according to ABC News, a mental health check on gun sales may have averted the 2007 mass shooting on Virginia Tech's campus. So we're going to have now this long list of American citizens, this national, if they have their way, registry database of law-abiding American citizens who own firearms legally under the Second Amendment. And now, apparently, Biden wants people to have mental health checks before they can buy guns. I mean, how is this supposed to work? Where are they going to send that information to? Who's going to make that decision? Which department? Which official? Which bureaucrats? This is sounding awfully 1930s to me, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to say it, but it's getting way, way out of control. Does anybody know if Joe Biden is mentally healthy? Does anybody know if Harry Reid is mentally healthy? Does anybody know if Barack Obama is mentally healthy? And while I'm at it, John Boehner and all the rest? With all the power they have. Should not the commander-in-chief go through a mental health examination and a background check, and then we can all find out what's going on? I mean, if we have to do it, why can't he? And why is it assumed that people in public office are mentally healthy? Why is it assumed? When I wrote Men in Black about the Supreme Court, a number of the justices that I wrote about at the beginning of the book were or became mentally ill. And I'm not saying this to be controversial. I'm making a point. How many of our public officials are drunks? A lot of them. Well, why don't we know about it? If they have a drinking problem. Obama used to be a druggie. A druggie, marijuana and cocaine. He was a druggie. I was never a druggie. He's president. But they have to do a mental health background check on all of us? This is what Biden's proposing. So understand what their comprehensive Second Amendment control issue is. They're going to ban over 150 weapons. If they get their way, if they actually had their way, they would have a national database of everybody who owns a firearm. You'd have to re-up every year, every 5 years, whatever it is, for a clean background check. If Biden had his way, you cannot purchase any weapons without a mental health examination. We don't even know who's going to do these examinations. So they have another list. They're going to know all about your finances when you file your tax returns with the IRS. They're going to know all about your other medical issues when Obamacare kicks in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is supposed to be our damn government. I'll be right back.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.